Hi everyone. Today, we will be sharing some useful information on the labeling requirements of complementary health products. At the end of this video, you will be able to identify information required to be presented on the labels and understand how to present the product information on the labels.
Hi Henry, have you heard that we are importing a joint health product from the US?
Hi Charles. Yes, I've heard about it. Is the label that we are going to be using for the Singapore market ready?
Do we really need to prepare another product label? Why don't we just use the US label?
Hi Charles and Henry. I overheard your conversation about the product label. When a consumer is purchasing or consuming the product, the label is where they can find information on product composition, instructions on how to use the product safely and appropriately, and recommended storage conditions so as to make informed purchase decisions. In addition, Singapore has its own specific labeling requirements. Hence, it is important to ensure that the information on the product label is adequate, truthful, and is relevant to the Singapore market.
Let us work on the draft product label. The product name refers to the name given to a specific product, which allows it to distinguish itself from other similar products in the market. The product name may or may not have a brand name, which generally refers to a name given by the company or manufacturer to a product or range of products. In the example, the product joint venture is part of the Mizo brand range, and hence the complete product name is Mizo Joint Venture.
Another thing that needs to be on the label are the names and quantities of active ingredients. Active ingredients are those that contribute to the intended function of the product. If the ingredient is from a plant or animal source, then the naming should include the scientific name, the plant or animal part which constitutes the active component, and where applicable, the type of preparation. The use of the common or local name of the plant or animal is optional. Our product contains an extract from the gum of Indian olibanum. Including the common name Indian olibanum is optional, but the scientific name Boswellia serrata, as well as the plant part, gum, must be stated on the label. To give another example, certain herbal ingredients are standardized to specific components. For standardized rhizome of Curcuma longa, the plant part is expressed as rhizoma, and the standardized extract information can be specified as 80% curcuminoids. For vitamins, either the common name or the chemical name may be used. Most labels use common names like vitamin D, vitamin C, vitamin B5, but chemical names like cholecalciferol, ascorbic acid, pantothenic acid, may also be used. For mineral supplements in the form of a salt, the actual amount of the mineral element should be declared, not just the salt compound. There are various ways of presenting this. The label may state copper 425 micrograms, or copper gluconate, containing 425 micrograms of copper, or copper 425 micrograms from 3 milligrams of copper gluconate. For other chemical entities, the International Non-Proprietary Name, or INN, should be used. For example, use glucosamine hydrochloride instead of any ingredient brand name. This ensures clear identification of the ingredient and prevents confusion.
Pack size or net content. This is the amount of product in a pack or container. This can be presented in absolute quantity, such as 30 capsules per container. For dosage forms such as liquids, powders, or creams, the net content, for example, 500 milliliters per bottle, may be used.
Dosage and directions of use. This would provide information on route of administration, dose, frequency, and duration of use, where applicable. Miso joint venture is to be taken at a dose of 1 capsule, once a day. Dosage form. Dosage form describes the physical format of a product that consumers will normally consume. Think of it as answering the question, what am I taking? Examples include tablets you swallow, liquids you drink, and creams you apply to the skin.
Storage conditions specify how the product must be stored to maintain its safety and quality until its expiry date. Proper storage prevents deterioration and degradation of active ingredients. For our product, Miso joint venture, the storage condition should state, store in a cool, dry place.
The label should minimally include the country where the product is manufactured. Miso joint venture was manufactured in USA. If the product is imported from overseas, then the name and address of the local importer need to be included on the label. If the product is manufactured locally in Singapore, then the name and address of the product owner should be included.
Batch number or lot number refers to a designation that identifies the product batch and allows traceability of the complete history of a specific product batch, including all stages of production, control, distribution, raw materials used. The batch number should be preceded by a clear title such as batch number, lot number, or BN. Likewise, the expiry date is the date assigned for each individual batch before which the batch still meets the required standard specifications for quality. Similar to batch number, this should be preceded with a title such as expiry date or EXP, and be declared clearly in month and year. The intended purpose is a statement related to the product's indications or benefits. Statements such as, "This is a dietary supplement," are not considered an intended purpose. Miso joint venture's intended purposes are to support joint health and maintain joint mobility.
In addition, some products may pose risks to certain individuals or require special precautions during use. These products may include contraindications or warnings on their labels to ensure consumer safety and informed decision-making. Contraindications identify the specific situations, conditions, or groups of people where the product should not be used due to safety risk. For example, the product may be contraindicated in pregnant women or lactating mothers, or individuals with kidney or liver impairment. In such cases, the product should be labeled with the contraindication accordingly. Warnings are for raising a consumer's awareness before consuming a product. This may refer to potential side effects, such as causing nausea or vomiting. It may also refer to cautionary statements, such as using with caution during pregnancy, lactation, menstruation. That is a lot of information. Since this product is packaged into a bottle, which is then enclosed into a box, why don't we distribute the information between the bottle's label and the box's label?
Not so fast, Charles. While it is true that some information can be excluded from the bottle label if there is an outer label, certain information must be stated on both labels. Let us first define what each label refers to. The finished product dosage form of Miso joint venture is a capsule. The container which directly contains the finished product is known as the primary container. The label which is attached to the primary container is known as the inner label. If the product is packaged into a blister, then the label on the blister is known as a blister label. Likewise, if the product comes in a small, unit dose container such as a sachet, then the label on such a container is known as a small label. Some companies may choose to enclose their product's primary container with an additional box packaging. Labels which are attached to such a box are known as outer labels.
This table can be found in the Guidelines for Labeling Standard of Health Supplements and Traditional Medicines. Generally, if the product comes with an outer packaging, all information will need to be included on the outer label. If the product comes with both an outer and inner label, some information may be omitted from the inner label. However, the product name and quantity of active ingredients, intended purpose, dosage and directions of use, batch number, and expiry date, must be included on both labels. Likewise, if the product only comes with an inner label, all the information will need to be present on the inner label. In the case of small or blister labels, they should minimally display the product name, batch number and expiry date. The full product information should be displayed on an accompanying outer carton box.
Looks like we have successfully ensured that Mizo Joint Venture's label meets Singapore's labeling standards.
We are now ready to market the product in Singapore.
For more information, please refer to the Guidelines for Labeling Standards of Health Supplements and Traditional Medicines, which can be found on the HSA website. We have reached the end of the video. Thank you for watching.